Let's look at this picture. It was taken in a typical day in Queens, New York, and if we look closer, we can see that almost everybody is using a cell phone and that everyone is connected. Latinos are social. They're connected through their mobile devices. They use Facebook, Twitter, social media in general. Now, in this graph that we're looking at right now, we can see that Latinos are digital. They spend as much time online as they spend on TV. However, this is what's currently happening. Only 5.4% of advertising budgets in Hispanic media are allocated to digital media. This means that digital media represents a big opportunity for savvy marketers out there to communicate with Latinos online. The healthcare industry is not an exception, and with the Affordable Care Act in place, there are currently several enrollment options for Latinos: navigators, independent brokers, the online portal, the call center. Digital is an efficient way to make Latinos take action and ultimately enroll. And digital represents two big opportunities. First, the opportunity to provide information at the media where Latinos are spending their time, and second, the opportunity to make the enrollment process start and finish online. So the question is, how do we enroll uninsured Latinos through digital media and make you stand out in the process? Let's meet three uninsured Latinos. Marcos has been living in the US for the past 15 years, and his primary language is Spanish. His favorite pastime is watching a baseball game after a long day of work while enjoying a meal of arroz con gandules. Meanwhile, Elizabeth speaks Spanish with her family at home, even though she was born in Queens. She loves hearing stories from her grandmother and learn also stories and home remedies from her. Then we have Francisco, who works at his family's restaurant in Brooklyn. He's always up to date with what's going on around him. And after this, as you can see, can be very similar but also very different. So, how do you persuade Latinos to choose you as a healthcare provider? You need to make a connection with them. You need to build trust through content that is relevant to their values, such as language, family, and their diverse traditions. In order to make a connection through this content, we must avoid making mistakes that reflect a poor cultural understanding through things such as stereotypes and also poor translations. In this example, we see a Starbucks sign that says exit only, and the correct translation for this would be solo salida. However, what they wrote as a translation actually means success here instead of exit here. Now, some of the bad translations that you see every day may be funny at times. However, in the healthcare industry, it is not so funny. In fact, a study shows that half of Spanish translated prescriptions include dangerous mistakes. This is sometimes serious and very dangerous. It could lead to medical malpractice and even legal actions. So, how do we go about building trust? Culturally relevant content is the backbone of engagement when earning Latino trust. On one side, we have the culturally relevant content that might be out there. And on the other side, we have people like Francisco, who may be having some asthma problems, Elizabeth, who has a history of anemia, Marcos, who heard something about the Affordable Care Act but is not quite sure about the details. However, we can see that these two sides are not looking at each other. There is a wall between the two. That wall in between is the lack of connection. That's where SoLoMo Latino, social, mobile, and local marketing shows up. It's the bridge between the culturally relevant content and Latinos like Marcos, Elizabeth, and Francisco. So, how do we make use of all of this information about Latinos being a numerous segment that they are online, and that relevant content engages them. In order to illustrate the SoLoMo Latino approach, we'll show you how we took one segment of the Hispanic population in New York City and conducted a pilot project with Region Q magazine. The segment that we took was the Ecuadorian population, which is the fourth largest population of Hispanics in New York City. So Region Q provides information that is relevant to the Ecuadorian community in New York City. And what they wanted to do was inform and engage the Ecuadorian community because of what's going on in the healthcare industry. So in the campaigns that we created, our goal was to satisfy the needs of people like Marcos, Francisco, and Elizabeth. Now, as we see in the graph, there's a drastic increase in the need for information on health insurance, but it's in Spanish, and a constant need for information in Spanish also about diseases like high blood pressure, anemia, asthma, and high cholesterol. All of these searches, all of these interests are in the United States, and they are done in Spanish. So for our pilot project, we took data from the census and personalized this campaign by developing profiles of this population. So we determined their location and other demographics, what they're searching for, and their interests. We were able to use these profiles to engage the right people at the right time with the right content through the right device. Now, digital has a great power to do that, to customize any campaign for specific groups of people and provide them with exactly what they're looking for. We develop campaigns that touch the points of interest, surrounding the topics around food, common health issues, home remedies, insurance, and aspects of the community. Overall, we provided information that was relevant, timely, and efficiently delivered. We implemented our SoLoMo Latino approach to everything that we did: ebooks, written content, video content, and outreach events. It is important to point out that the segmentation we did with the Ecuadorian community can be duplicated with any other specific segment of the Hispanic population. Content plus SoLoMo Latino are the steps for the audience to take action and continue through the process of enrollment. So the results that we got from this campaign were positive because we were highly relevant thanks to the support of the market research. This campaign had a large reach, a high engagement, and constantly showed up in the top listings. For example, about information about Obamacare and whether or not people qualify. However, one of the breakthroughs of the campaign were the findings on local maps. When you put Seguro Médico, just like we do here from a cell phone, the only results that pop up are the locations where Region Q are positioned, which means that there are no competitors. What we can see here on the map is that there's a big opportunity for savvy marketers. That the target population not only found Region Q locations, but they took action. Through their devices, they requested directions on how to get there. So the question is actually why not? Why aren't health providers taking advantage of the opportunities that are right there? If you're competing here, why not also be here? The truth is that the healthcare industry is currently seeing a golden opportunity that other industries have already seen in the Hispanic market, either in politics, music, movies, you name it. Latinos are social, mobile, and local. They're SoLoMo. A customized SoLoMo Latino, social, mobile, and local marketing campaign is the way to engage and enroll the right people at the right time, with the right content, and through the right device. This can change and empower your entire approach when it comes to enrolling uninsured Latinos in a cost-effective way.